another day. Our insurance companies denied another claim. We're human beings, we have rights to our names. We deserve better and we'll die without a change. This will mark another day. Our insurance companies denied another claim. We're human beings, we have rights to our names. We deserve better and we'll die without a change.
My daughter's sick, they denied another claim. So now we gotta pick on what to spend to sort of change. It's sort of strange with all the rich, there's all this pain. Sometimes I fantasize about sticking up a bank. I'm a husband, a father, a freaking law-abiding citizen. So why I gotta calm my child crying for her medicine? Trying to force a smile when she can't get out of bed again. The first step is denial, is the next to pump some lead in them? I heard a story of a dad who robbed a pharmacy. Opened up his bag like poverty is policy. He left a note saying, sorry, I feel horribly. To save my kid's life, I'll be a criminal if I gotta be. That guy's a god to me, I lost all other faith. Healthcare is a human right for all the human race. I heard they're marching, maybe this will force a change. Tell me, how can CEOs and politicians show their face?
This will mark another day. Our insurance companies denied another claim. We're human beings, we have rights to our names. We deserve better and we'll die without a change.
It's CEOs and politicians paws are coming for, cause more than 30 million of us still are uninsured. 500,000 of us lose it all to pay the bills each and every year. This is how big pharma kills. Plus the 30,000 dead from no insurance, and the workers losing coverage cause the boss don't need their service. We occupy Congress, bailing out big business. We march in 40 cities cause it's time to end the sickness.
This will mark another day. Our insurance companies denied another claim. We're human beings, we have rights to our names. We deserve better and we'll die without a change. We'll die without a change.
Told to come alone. Joe said if you vote for him, he'll abdicate his throne as the father of the crime bill, soul of Jim Crow. Proud to live and vote as a Strom Thurmond clone. If he tried to kiss your daughter with a camera rolling, he'll try more than kissing her alone. Cozy up with Jill for a photo like a portrait of the Kissingers at home. You know I hate to kill the messenger, but if he's gotta go, we can FaceTime. Slit his throat while he stares into the phone. Like if you don't know, kitten, now you know. This is where austerity has gotten us. This is all that palpable excitement for a 20-year wait on forgiveness for your student loans. But a distraction's a distraction and it's time to see some action. So here's one last song for Joe. Before I try to keep his name out of the lyrics in my phone. Try to shift the focus to our senators and everyone in Congress who is all too happy to be hidden while we're wasted to the bone. It is not food insecure, it's starvation, and it lurks in almost half the country's homes. So if you plan to lay down, hold your nose and vote for Joe, have the guts to admit that you chose to submit and that you decided lending your support to a pedophile must be a step towards hope. That a vote for a man that spent his whole life implementing laws that dehumanized people of color is a vote against fascism. When you know damn well he's just a kinder, dumber face on the same white nationalism. So baby, throw away your scruples with the memories of your activism. Watch your weak resistance usher in a fucking cataclysm. Elect a bigot war pig and say you're gonna push him into pacifism. That's some bootlicker Stockholm hostage liberal masochism. Bootlicker Stockholm hostage liberal masochism. Baby, that's some fucking bootlicker Stockholm hostage liberal masochism. God, that's some fucking bootlicker Stockholm hostage liberal masochism. That's some fucking...
You know, sir, I like you much better with my glasses off.
guess I was born with the curse of foresight. Cause I knew Joe was only gonna represent the war side. And that said, I just came to fight. You could keep the or flight. Save the surprise and the gasp when the shadow of the fascists have cast is on your doorstep in the glow of your porch light. Save the surprise when the grid goes down and we go underground to lick wounds in the gloom of a torchlight. While up in the sky, a blimp glides by with a sign like New Year's 2022. Brought to you jointly by Pfizer and Coors Light. While the centrists observe from a comfortable courtside, right in the thick of the action behind a partition. We're in a morbid position, a plague of evictions, born a comorbid condition of the cancer of wealth. I fantasize that I cancel myself, hands on your head, throw your best laid plans in the well. There are no more answers, questions go back on the shelf. All Joe's donors, a quick show of hands. How many of you sub to the Lockheed Martin OnlyFans? How many are loyalist patrons for the Raytheon Patreon? Occupy Iraq and send $1 million off into the great beyond. Cool yourself with the safety on. True to yourself in as much as you dutifully spew out a mucus of QAnon. You can't convince me the capital wasn't surrendered with every intention of digging us deeper down into the treacherous webbing of censorship, ebbing your speech and dissension so you can't hold Biden accountable. Not in his mentions and not in the streets. No to the end that Joe will defend the elite. Joe won't embarrass McConnell, but Joe's not embarrassed if all of your children are hungry and weak. Too hungry to speak. Too hungry to stand, they just lie at his feet. Joe is fresh out of empathy, fresh out of policy, but he'd love to know, what was your favorite ice cream flavor to eat? Back when you used to eat. I guess the road isn't rocky for people who thought we were free. They'll believe what they read, and Joe's here to lull them to sleep. Counting us down by the dozens, the culling of gullible sheep, led to the slaughter by media tyrants and government thieves. These are the leeches that stubbornly suck where there's nothing to bleed. These are the tumors that force us to crawl on our knees. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free.
We are live. Welcome, everybody. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you for being here. I am Indy from Indie Left News, and this is Indie News Network. This is our first stream as a group and as a team and as a family. Some of us are missing, and there are a lot of us. So I think it might have been a little overwhelming and a little bit too much to have everybody on screen once. And of course, everybody's got lives and schedules. So we're going to get as many people here as we can tonight. We've got 8 of the members here with us tonight, and there's actually a total of 16. So thank you, everybody. Welcome for being here. Thanks for being in the chat. Again, look forward to having some great times with everybody here and with all the fans who have been awesome in sharing this out and in getting the excitement ready. Man. So about 6 weeks ago, I started to recognize, and I've been watching all these channels and all these amazing content creators for a year and a half since I started Independent Left News, which was then Progressive News Daily. And I saw all these new fledgling young channels start to grow. I said, we're all kind of missing a little something, but if we all work together and we all put our heads together and we all put our resources together, I think we could become something. We could all help each other and become a real family and a real powerhouse out there and help a lot of people and educate and amplify and do all the things that we are trying to do. And the reason why we started podcasts and why we started channels to begin with. So I wanted to introduce everybody and give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. Again, my name is Indy. I run independentleft.news and leftist.today. I also do a show with the guy to my left, I think it is on the screen, Reef Breland.
Left, yep.
Oh, he's bottom left. Okay, he's underneath me. I'm in the middle. Oh, that's cool. So Reef's underneath me. And we do a show called How Do We Miss That? Saturday nights at midnight on my channel, Independent Left News on YouTube. We co-stream this out. And one of the things we're doing tonight is we're co-streaming out onto everybody's YouTube channels that was able to participate in this. And that's something that we're excited to do as well.
Yep.
So let me introduce Reef. I've done a lot of talking already, and I hate doing that much talking. And these are just amazing people. And that's why I wanted everybody to meet them and everybody to start watching and subscribing to all of their channels. And we're going to start doing more streams as a network. We're going to do some exclusive live streams. We're going to do roundtables. We're going to do collaborations with other networks, and we're going to co-stream from our channels to this network. So, Reef, take it away.
Oh, well, I mean, you said, like, we do How Do We Miss That on Saturdays together. I bring some much-needed therapy of mindless entertainment in the boat smashing into other boats segment. And I play the ignorant man so that Indy can tell me all the stories that we missed together. So super fun. Go check that out on his channel, Indy Left News, right? All of our links are in that indienews.network right there, and there should be links to that link tree in the description below. But I also do a show on Friday nights at 10 Eastern with the one of our other Brady Bunch members up here, Uncle Warren. He's been there twice. So next week we should have Jesse Jett. Shout out to him for letting us use his music at the front of the show. So that should be super good time there. But yeah, otherwise I'm the tech person. I'm running the stream right now, right? So I also have that hat. But anyway, I think that's oh yeah, my show Friday.
We also do Discord.
Yep, I also run the Discords, Door Discord specifically. You can find that link if you want in that Discord at Door Discord on Twitter. And you can find me at Reef Breland on Twitter. So,
and there will be an Indie News Network Discord coming in the near future as we continue to ramp things up for everyone to go and hang out and follow all of the YouTube videos and articles and tweets and everything that everybody in the network is publishing. Plus, we'll also probably be on there engaging with fans. It'll be a good way to connect with us while we're not streaming or working.
And I think I'm also going on with Lucy Wednesday, right? This week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect segue because actually Lucy's up next to talk about her channel, Blue Moon Red Wine. Again, I'm a big fan of everybody's channel here, and that's why we're all together. So go ahead, Lucy.
You're muted.
You're muted. No sound.
No sound.
Nope. Uh-oh.
Try testing your mic. Make sure it's like. I heard something.
Oh, we heard sound.
You hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, now we got you.
Okay.
Welcome. Hi, Lucy.
Sorry about that. My name is Lucy. I have a small channel called Blue Moon Red Wine. It started out really just as shit posting and trolling, honestly. But eventually, as it's growing a little bit, I'm trying to decide what to do with it. And what I've decided to do is to grow an email list to feed into the community land trusts and like housing projects in my area. So if anyone wants to be a part of that, I'm accumulating an email list called the Dollar Housing List. And the idea is that if everyone donates $1, if 60,000 people donate $1, that can house one family. I just started it. I just started the YouTube channel, but I've enjoyed it so far. And if you'd like to follow me, my channel is Blue Moon Red Wine. Thank you so much.
Putting it in the chat now.
And I've also seen you streaming on Twitch, right, Lucy?
Yes, I'm also on Twitch. I just started that too.
That's awesome.
BMRW show on Twitch.
And at BMRW show on Twitter also, if you want to follow Lucy. She's got some savage takes on there. I definitely would highly recommend following Lucy. She's a lot of fun. All right, so our buddy Colin, who I've known pretty much since I got into this, I started watching Richard Medhurst early on last April, and Colin jumped into Richard's Discord, which I was already in May, and we hit it off and we're friendly, and we've known each other ever since. So Colin started a channel recently, and I said, oh my goodness, well, he's definitely got to be part of this. So Colin, sure enough, let's introduce your channel. Let everybody hear about it.
Hi, my name is Colin. My channel is Kumalo Mukwano. So my channel is based on East African issues and how those issues pertain to Black issues in the West. And this is just kind of based on my travels to Africa for the past decade and developing relationships with people there, and those experiences have just kind of radicalized me to kind of realize, like, I think as far as Black people, whether you're in Africa or in Europe or in America, a lot of the issues are the same. And so I wanted to have a channel where I just wanted to kind of share out some of my experiences, especially being on the ground and just talking to a lot of people, in Rwanda and Uganda over the last decade, and just really wanting to share more and giving them a voice to the reality of how things are for them. But conversely, just looking for ways where we're able to connect, for Black people in the West, just getting to know each other a little bit better. And so I'm actually really excited to be a part of this network because even though that's kind of like my love at the moment, it's definitely an obscure topic. And I'm not expecting to hit like thousands and thousands of subscribers anytime soon, and that's okay. But being on this network does allow me to explore other issues and talk about other issues that I'm interested in. So I'm a teacher as a profession. So obviously, I want to stick to education issues. Obviously, I want to talk about political issues, and then just random issues that, that I'm interested in. So this network gives me the opportunity to do some exclusives, which I am planning right now. That will be exclusive to this network, in addition to stuff on my channel that is more specific. So just having the flexibility of being able to do both was very exciting, and then being able to connect with new content creators. So yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of this team.
Yeah, and we're excited to have you be a part of it. Again, everybody's already been gelling, and one of the things that's exciting is that we're going to be going on as guests on each other's shows and co-writing. And one of the things that we're going to be doing, in addition to YouTube and streaming, is Substack, and that's another element that I think that we really haven't seen too much out of networks so far, is adding the element of writing in addition to streaming. So that's something that I personally am looking forward to more than anything. Next, we've got our a guy who has been lighting things up, and I've really enjoyed his content. He's got some really fire takes, and that's Robert Durden of Political Fight Club. I've been watching his stuff, and he's actually been talking about getting people together for a network, and listening to that with the ideas that I'd already had in my head, it just made sense to ask him to join, and so excited that he was on board with it. So welcome, Rob, and introduce your channel a little bit. Thanks.
Hey, thanks a lot, Indy. You guys are doing exactly what I've always hoped would happen here. This is wonderful, and it's an absolute honor. What I do is called Political Fight Club, and I do it on Rockfin and YouTube. And basically, I just kind of political shit talk people. I try to do the news, but if you guys have watched my channel, I also roast people a lot, like other YouTubers that are having bad takes, but particularly other like politicians in particular. So that's kind of my thing. And I got a little trouble lately for doing such a thing, but I finally have their attention. I finally got Ryan Grimm's attention, as it turns out. So I've been doing this about a year, got about 2,000 subs. And my thing is basically this. I want to fight all of the propagandists and make sure that we protect all of our good journalists and other YouTubers who are doing good work. And along the way, I just kind of, if you guys have seen my show, I even like freestyle rap sometimes. I'm not very good at it, but I tell a lot of jokes, a lot of naughty jokes, some of which get me in trouble. But I want to shout out to you guys. When I got in trouble recently, you guys were there for me. I was spiraling a little bit, and you guys really centered me. So I love you guys, and I really thank you for standing up for me and backing me up. And that's the way this is going to operate. I hope, we're a family here, and you guys know I got your backs, and I really appreciate it. And if you want to check me out, I'm on, like I said, Rockfin and YouTube, and I'm going to start doing live streams on StreamYard soon. I just have to wait till I get this next little batch of money in, and then I'll be able to get that on my computer, and I'll start doing interviews. So love you guys. Really appreciate being here.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks again, and appreciate you being here as well, Rob.
Rob.
And Rob was a guest on the FHL General Strike Summit over the weekend, which 6 of our members were actually appearing on. Another one of them was Bess from Millennial Splaining. Again, we were so proud to be a participant in that. Bess was actually on the disability stream. Oh. Well, I'll give her a second while she's coughing out after taking a little vape, but that's all right. She's muted up. I'll give her a little setup. So Bess's channel and show is Millennial Splaining. She is a craft activist. However, I'll let her get into all that. She's hilarious. She's endearing. She lives close by to me. I've been watching her channel, listening to her podcast, and again, just excited that she's decided to join the network as well. So take it away, Bess.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for having me. And this has been a really great experience working with you guys. I have a podcast called Millennial Splaining. I believe that millennials are the new lost generation because we came of age within a really, I like to call it the recession depression, a really, steeply declining economic situation. And unfortunately, what happened is that the shrinking pool of jobs were taken mostly by boomers and Xers, and millennials who were trying to enter the market at that time were left to unpaid internships, retail jobs, and whatever they could get. So we didn't have a chance to grab the national microphone in the way that previous generations have done. If you look back at the Xers, they have the punk movement. If you look back, the hippies, disco, there are all these movements you can sort of point to, whereas millennials are voiceless in a lot of ways. There are a lot of the things that you point to about millennials are what marketers have told you and not what we have told you about ourselves. So my intention is to correct that. And I'm also working on a project with Laura Fielding from the Red Berets, and we are working on something called Craft Strike. If you are interested in crafts, if you do crafts, if you sell crafts, art, music, anything, please contact us at Artists on Strike on Twitter. And we are trying to form a network of people who are willing to sell products in their store to fund mutual aid organizations. And the goal is that we lift all of we lift each other up as both artists and as mutual aid organizations. And we also, very, very importantly, we want to create our own, sort of like Twitter farm, essentially, of actual people. So we need people who just want to tweet and retweet and boost people. We need you. We need everybody. So please, contact me if you're interested in that. You can find my podcast at melensplain.com. I'm at melensplain on Twitter. And I have a YouTube and a podcast and a crazy sense of humor, man. So come check me out, man. Yes. And again, thank you so much to everybody here, because we've only been working together for a short amount of time so far, and I've already learned so much from just being around you guys, and I'm really looking forward to collaborating in the future. So let's do this.
Absolutely.
If you have a YouTube channel link, if you could put that in Restream chat, I'd be real appreciative.
Sure. I've actually got the spreadsheet of all the channels up. I think I've got Bess's channel up.
YouTube/melensplain, because it will be shortly, but it's now just letters and numbers, unfortunately.
Yeah, I could only find the Orf video. I put in every version of here, and it's just the one with Orf. It's oh, cool.
I've got it. I've got it right here, and it's going into everybody's chat across the entire network. Everybody's stuff: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Even I don't know about Twitter. I don't know how it would go out to Twitter. We'd probably have to tweet it. But so we do have a Twitter account. That's at Get Indie News. Get Indie News.
Get INN, or is it
INDI? Get INN is the hashtag, but it's Get INDIE News. We actually have the Indie. We had to decide, was it going to be Indie with a Y or Indie with an IE? And everyone's like, Indie with a Y sounds like Indianapolis. So let's go with the IE. Again, this has just been so awesome so far. There are a lot of plans and collaborations. One of the first shows that I went on recently was Be the Change. And just after the March for Medicare for All, my Discord picked up a live stream of somebody who was doing a stream about Assange and about the Assange case. And this channel called Be the Change. And I was like, wow, I've never heard of this. This is really interesting. And I see this guy on screen, Todd, and he's talking about Assange and about the case. And then he's talking about gardening, and he's talking about all the right issues, and he's covering the articles that I'm covering, including in Indie Left News. And I said, oh my God, this guy's fantastic. So I know actually we ended up doing an interview on his channel and continue to follow and amplify and include him in Independent Left News and that content. And so it was a natural fit when I started to look at who would come together and gel and who needs to have that amplification and that boost. I saw Todd as a natural for this. So again, I'm so happy that he decided to join, and welcome Todd, and Be the Change, and talk about your channel and tell everybody about it, please.
Yeah, thank you for that very flattering introduction. I'm almost blushing here. Yeah, so really appreciate everybody that's a part of this group. I wanted to join it because we all have kind of different things to offer, and we're able to collaborate with each other, amplify our voices, as Indy was talking about, and kind of support each other. We each all have our strengths within these different spaces, and we have just an amazing collection of voices, both YouTube content creators and beyond, as well as some amazing writers as well. And so my channel, just a lot of different kind of political content and analysis, just kind of whatever's on my mind. I try to provide a structural critique of it, and particularly calling out U.S. Imperialism in particular, because I think that's really important for people on the left to engage in that type of critique. And as Indy said as well, I have some gardening and growing food content on there as well. It's something I'd like to kind of put more content out about, because I think it's super important. Like, like the Black Panther Party said, like survival pending revolution, like you got to be able to feed people. So teaching people how to grow food, how to do that in whatever context works for them, I think is super important. And yeah, I just really appreciate everybody that's a part of this group. They've all been super supportive and helpful in so many ways. And I've had Indy on the channel before. I've had Reef. I've had Robert, and I believe I'll be chatting with Lucy pretty soon from Blue Moon Red Wine, which will be really fun. And just looking forward to more collaboration and just growing and helping each other through that process. And so thank you, Indy, for reaching out for this opportunity. Much appreciated.
Awesome. And it's funny, perfect timing. Noli D just happened to jump in the chat, which was perfect because I had her listed as up next to introduce her channel and what she does. And it's kind of funny that she's not on screen because she's always behind the scenes and she's incredibly special. And a lot of people know of her and they see her in the chat. She was actually in the chat. I said, wait a minute, you're part of the network. You get in here and I want you to get on camera and we got to talk about your channel, because Noli has a channel as well. And most people don't even know that because they see her in chats and they're like, wait, she's got a channel too? So Noli, you're muted right now. So please unmute, introduce yourself, introduce your channel. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Noli, and my channel is mostly, just for the people, the activists, and the people who support activists. We share a lot of different information. The last video I did was on FOIA requests. A lot of people don't understand or know how to do them, or how easy they are to do. So I kind of did a quick walkthrough the best I could with, my computer acting up, on how to do a FOIA request really simple and easy. I mean, it's not that complicated really when you get used to it, but the process can be complicated depending on who you're up against and what you need to, what information you need to arm yourself with when you're trying to get information, especially when it comes to court records or police reports or videos, because just so you guys know, like the videos that are like security camera stuff outside of any government building, that's all public information. You have a right to every single bit of it, to view it, to have a copy of it, to share it publicly. They can't tell you you can't. They try to, but they can't tell you you can't. And sometimes things happen and we don't believe the cops. We never believe the cops. It's a way to get the truth, or at least get the proof that you need. And my channel was never meant to be a channel. It was just I was just there to be in the background, just to support and help people. But something happened, I don't know, almost 2 years ago now, maybe it has been 2 years ago. A man was murdered in my hometown, and we had video footage of it because we don't have dash cams or body cams around here. And he was murdered by the police. We have proof of it, and I needed to know what the cops were saying and what they were doing and what was going on with the officer that shot this man. And I found out how ugly and dirty even small town cops are, and how ugly and dirty small town prosecutors are. And it never really amounted to nothing, but I mean, that's one of my earliest videos, is sharing that content. And I've been sharing content like it just to make people aware ever since.
Sure. And I know you do some work with a couple of channels that people are familiar with. Could you state who they were as well?
Yeah, I can do that. So if you guys have heard of the Real News Network, there's a segment on there called Police Accountability Report with Taya Graham and Stephen Janis. Amazing people. If you don't know them, please go and check them out. They are the bomb diggity. I work with them. I help bring them content, and I do a lot of vetting. I do a lot of research. I'm actually in the middle of getting some info for them right now for a documentary that we're working on.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
Thank you so much. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Oh, that's great. Again, welcome. And when Noli, reached out to me, I told her that we were doing this, and she said, I have a channel. I said, no, I didn't, but because you and not only if you did, she was going to help behind the scenes. And then she said she had a channel. So well, let's get your channel in here too, and get you co-streaming and participating and being part of that and amplifying the content that you're creating as well, and get you as guests on shows if you want to do that. Get you writing and publishing through the Substack, and again, we're going to help each other grow and amplify and build platforms for each other, and that's going to help people, because every single one of us is here to do good for others, and then we've got the comic relief, and that's Uncle Warren, who's been sitting here patiently for like a half an hour now, 39 minutes, and he doesn't get to say a word, and he's like the funniest guy in the group by far. Reef's pretty damn funny, but Warren keeps me laughing all day long. So take it away, Uncle Warren, and explain to them a little bit about who it is you are and what you do and what you're doing here with Extra Booyah.
Yeah, I want to get a double cheeseburger, no onions. What did you want? No, they don't have milkshakes. I said they don't have any fucking milkshakes. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong place. I have little flashbacks. Yeah, I'm Uncle Warren. That's my old radio name. You could just call me Warren. Just don't call me late for supper. Anyway, so I have the show on Thursday nights called Extra Booyah, or if you're from the South, you can call it Bulla, or just watch the show. I don't care what you call it. And basically what it is I have a background back in the 90s. I was a news guy back then, but then afterwards I started doing some stand-up comedy here and there. So I decided to have a show where I would bring on newsmakers and get a different side of them that they can't normally project on their own shows. Like this group, we all deal with serious topics, and a lot of times you can't cut up and have a good time and talk about other things, other facets of your personality. And so you come on my show and we talk about just whatever you want. It's none of the questions are scripted. It's a free-flowing conversation. Like for example, one night we had our guy Spittin' Venoms on, and we talked about 1980s Drakkar Noir cologne. It's stuff like that, and basically the whole point of that is to when you're on your own shows, you're dealing, like I said, you're dealing with serious topics. But what I believe as communication to me is like the backbone to any movement, to any sort of getting to know anybody and trying to work with them to do anything like, direct actions or mutual aid, that kind of thing. Because you want to try and build up a level of trust with people. And the more you kind of know somebody's personality that isn't just what they are presenting on their shows, you kind of tend to think, okay, well, maybe this person seems all right. Maybe I feel like I can trust them and I can trust what they're saying, so it kind of bring down some walls with people. And I've talked to several people so far, some people like Fiorella from Combo Couch. I've talked to Comrade Misty, and we've just had a blast, and everyone who's been on the show has said, usually it goes about an hour, 2 hours, and they go, well, where did the time go? It's like, well, it's because we were just shooting the shit, and you got to show more of your personality to people. So I like the news, but I don't think I have what it takes to give it the seriousness that it deserves. So what I do is just bring people who do that kind of serious type stuff. It was like I was telling, I had Franco from Frank Analysis on last week, and we were talking about how his show and everybody else's is like the workplace. And when you come to my show, it's like coming to the bar after work and having a couple of beers, maybe, having a little smoky there, like Bess was doing there, a little something for mommy, a little tasty, so you come on, act silly. And then we got some silly stuff too. And because you need a little bit of a reprieve from all the serious stuff, because the serious stuff, if you need to know this stuff, obviously, because it's important information, but it can be a bit of a bummer sometimes, because truth is often in this day and age pretty much of a downer. So you come on here and it's like you get a little reprieve, and then you can go back there and get some more information, and hopefully you'll feel better about yourself. So I try to have people on like who host shows, but also I'm trying to get people on who might be famous, but also are activists in their own right, and talk about their journey, how they got started, what they care about, and that sort of thing. So hopefully we're a little seed right now, but the seed's starting to grow a little bit, and I hope to have everybody here on the show on at some point, and we'll get our silly on. So hopefully that happens soon.
Definitely. And the seed is exactly the idea, because one of the things that I saw in every channel here is that we've all pretty much started our channels within the last year and a half or so. And all of us, we're not on every platform. For example, some of us need help with streaming. Some of us need help with graphics. Some of us need help with technology stuff. Some of us need help in marketing and getting an audience out and in branding if we want to do that. And then, of course, we need help in organizing and helping all of the mutual aid and community organizing that we're trying to do, and getting the word out on all of that, and to collaborate with other networks. And it's just going to be fantastic. I did want to introduce and share my screen and bring up an image with some of the other members. And of course, I had that ready, and now I got rid of it. Great. I had this up on the indienews.network.substack.com. So if I go to indienews.network.com, .substack.com, and of course you can go to indienews.network, and the Substack link is right there as well. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Let's actually click the share screen button. There we go. And let's share the Indie News Network. Here we go. All righty. So this is the Substack, and you can see that we've been publishing a couple of articles already. You've gotten a co-publish, but more important, and again, I've done a little bit of we've done some profiles about the Meet the INN member, where you can learn a little bit about Lucy and about Robert. And we're publishing these on a daily basis. We're trying to get them out so you can meet everybody. We also have, where's the Meet the INN members? Our initial post. Okay, see that? There's so many. Here it is. Here's the image that I was looking for, of course, and that linked to that. So there's the link tree. But what I wanted to show was this image, which is everybody. Okay, here are the 16 channels and 16 writers, personalities, comedians, and one crazy news aggregator, and that's me. So Rob Durden, you've met. Tara Reid is not with us this evening, but I don't know how much introduction she really needs. She was also on the General Strike Summit on Friday night. She was talking about survivor issues, and she's absolutely phenomenal. So glad that she's decided to join and be a participant in this venture. Elias Cepeda is a former writer, sports writer for Sports Illustrated and other large publications. He started an independent Substack called Deconstructing Consent, but he also is an MMA former fighter and trainer, and that is what he does with most of his time. But he also just started a YouTube channel. He's been doing some interviews, gone on Fred Hampton Leftist. He's gone on Left Reckoning. He'll go on a bunch of different shows to talk about a variety of political issues as well as sports. Again, you see Todd and Bess, who you've met, and Lucy. Gnomes for Truth, that's Seb Solomon. She'll be at our next stream, hopefully. She writes a Medium column called Gnomes for Truth, gnomesfortruth.medium.com. And again, all of the links can be found if you go to the indienews.network and you go to this post. Everybody's links to their channels or to their Substacks are there, as well as to their Twitter handles and to follow them on Twitter. Tatami's diary. Well, there's Colin's photo. Tatami's diary. I adore Tatami. She's spiritual. She's also a crafter, and she takes a real family approach to how she introduces content and introduces political ideas, because she wasn't very political, but she realized how much politics affects her life, and she started to get more involved, more active, more aware, and she shares some fantastic takes. Again, everybody sees and met Noli and Reef. Daryl from Black in the Empire has gone on Fred Hampton Leftist a couple of times, as well as a guest on a couple of other shows. And everybody follows him on Twitter. That's at Black in the Empire with no E at the end, but all one word. And he's got some fire takes as well. Again, you've got me here, Independent Left News, independentleft.news, independent and leftist.today, independentleft.media for all of my Linktree links, Uncle Warren and Extra Booyah, or just Warren, as he likes to say. And then we've got the Dissident, the 307.substack.com. And he caused a stir this week, right? Writing a Substack about Hassan and about the boutique left versus the activist left. And how we're, the activists are getting smeared by those with larger platforms and larger channels, and the people that are actually out there in the streets trying to do something are constantly getting put down. And we're trying to fight some of that and trying to counter that narrative and show that there is positive movement happening from that. And then you've got Kobe at the Pro Peace Report. He's an activist, a reporter, a journalist. He's actually living in Sweden for the next couple of years. So we're going to get an international take of an American perspective from outside the country. And I'm really excited to have him be part of the network as well. So welcome to all of them. Again, I encourage everyone to go to indienews.network, INDIE news.network. You can find the Substack right from there. This is one of the first articles that was published on the Substack. You'll actually have to go down below in order to get to it. But if I go back right at the top, you can see that we published an article, and of course, YouTube Studio turned off the embedding, so you can't see it. But this video would actually be live streaming in the box if that worked. All the links to find the streams on the Indie News Network channels are here. Everybody who's here tonight and all of their links are in this post as well as everybody else that we talked about and that I introduced. And we're going to do another stream later on this week. I'm thinking it's going to be Thursday night, and we'll have some of the other folks that did not get to make it here tonight introduce themselves to everybody else. So wow. Why did I think that this was a great idea to do this? Well, again, we could all pool resources. We can share technology, share best practices, be guests on each other's shows, to amplify each other's content, to be a support system for each other, because this can be really tough out there as an independent streamer. There's so much technology being thrown at you. There's the Google algorithm for search. There's the YouTube algorithm. There are so many things that to keep your eye on, and to have a group of people behind you that can help weather that storm and manage all of those different elements and grow a channel, help entertain people while also educating That's, I think, what we're all trying to accomplish here, and doing it on a multitude of platforms, whether that's on YouTube, but most importantly, getting onto platforms like Rockfin and Odyssey and Rumble, and making podcasts, for example, because podcasts are a fantastic way to grow our audience. And a lot of us have audio friendly content. You know, Bess is already doing it. Several of us are already making a podcast. So, and then even the writers, and this is an idea that I've seen fantastic writers like Caitlin Johnstone and Matt Taibbi do recently, which is repurposing their content from writing into audio podcast form or into SoundCloud, and then bringing that into a Substack, or bringing that, or putting a slideshow behind that, and then putting that on a YouTube channel, so that you're increasing your amplification and your reach. And those are the kind of things that we're going to do to help each other. And sometimes they say, you know what, I'm not really sure, and I don't really understand how to do that. Well, we're going to have the tech people and the volunteers that are going to put this all together, that are going to be audio engineers, video editors, graphic designers. We're really trying to build a team, a support system, so that, and we're going to coordinate a lot of that through Discord. We've already been doing some of that work, so that any graphic designer that needs to come in and find something in Robert's channel will find all the creative and all the links and everywhere that they can find Robert. So we're really excited about this. I did want to talk a little bit about the General Strike Summit that happened this weekend. I was also honored and grateful to be a part of it and to be asked. I was on one of the activist panels late last night that actually closed out the summit before the original members took over. And what they did and what they accomplished in getting all these people from all different walks of life together was just terrific. And wanted to give them kudos and thank them for inviting all the different members. So Kobe, who you don't see tonight, was also on a panel. Robert was on a panel. Bess was on a panel. And then we also had Daryl on a panel from Black in the Empire. And Tara Reid was on a panel on Friday night talking about survivors, and also, you know, challenging power in the workplace, which definitely is related to strikes and workplace struggle. You know, Bess and Robert specifically, you two also were on. I would love to hear one of your takes. Let's go with Bess first, and talk about your experience at the General Strike Summit and being a part of that event.
Sure. Well, it was awesome. I actually was on two panels. I was on one with the Red Berets, and then I was on one with the Disability Roundtable. So I sort of touched on a little bit before what I was talking about, craft strike. That's what I was talking about with the Red Berets, you know, what we can do as craftivists to sort of fund the revolution. But with the Disability Roundtable, that was really interesting because a lot of people really found it difficult to sort of, you know, to sort of own the fact that they were protesting, right? Because when you're disabled and you can't make it out into the streets, it's very difficult to feel like you're part of the group, especially when you have people out there that are saying Twitter activism is not real activism. You have to go out in the streets and cause a riot and blah, 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 blah. Like I found it pretty inspiring that there was a group of people out there that really felt like they wanted to do something from home. And those are exactly the kind of people that I think we're going to be relying on more and more in the future, especially as we build this general strike movement. Because as I said, I don't believe the general strike will be a day. I don't believe it'll be an event, a month, a week. No, it's going to be a movement, and it's already started. And we need to fund that movement. And that should be our first concern because nobody can strike without food. Nobody can strike without housing and clothes. These are the things that we need to work out together. And I think that when it comes to beating algorithms, when it comes to trying to get, Twitter trends or, you know, any kind of social media recognition, you need willing sort of hordes of people that are willing to share certain information. And that's what I'm really hoping that we can start to create in a network here, as well as for the general strike in general. It's just sort of among the left, is that we really need to, you know, create our own bot farms that are not bots, like they're us, right?
Right. Organize, collaborate, and be actual humans that are sharing this content. But we're able to do it at a rapid pace that the algorithm is going to recognize and say, you know what, something's going on here. We need to share this with other people because there's a bunch of people that are clearly interested.
Yeah.
And then Rob, you were on Saturday night's General Strike Summit panel. What was your panel on again?
It was on media censorship. Yep. And I couldn't have pegged it better for myself. I went on there and talked a little bit about how the Clinton campaign basically will plant information about Russiagate. Meanwhile, they will make sure that the DNC will make sure that they cover up any type of incriminating evidence that Joe Biden is like doing pay to play. So I talked a little bit about that. It was a great discussion. Daryl, Black in the Empire, was on that discussion with me. We had a lot of fun. And as far as the General Strike Summit goes, that was a monumental event. Don't get it twisted one bit. That was an event that is going to spur more events exactly like it every 6 months or every year for as long as we can do this. And I think that's part of the reason why it's getting attacked hard right now. And don't get it. Understand, guys, we're in the fight of our lives in a way. And these networks are extremely important, which is why they're going to come at us hard. And that event is just the first domino to fall. So I want to give a huge shout out to the Fred Hampton leftists. They are getting attacked hard right now when they shouldn't be. They did a wonderful job. They're wonderful people. I learn something new every time I talk to all of you guys or anybody on the Fred Hampton leftist. All of you guys are gems. So thank you so much for including me in this, guys. And it was a great discussion. And part of the reason I think they came after me afterwards is because that event was so good and got so many views that they're looking for any reason in the world to kind of smear anybody that was a part of it. So it is what it is. But you guys backed me up. I love all you guys, and I'm super excited to be a part of this.
Yeah, thanks again, Rob. And again, we were honored and proud to have you be a part of it, and proud to have Indie News Network just be a small part of this. Again, what those folks did over there in organizing a huge group of people over 3 full days. You're talking almost 36 hours of content. They were tag teaming in and out hosts. They were tag teaming in and out guests. And part of that, it was seeing what they were doing with the FHL roundtable gave us an inspiration for what we wanted to do here, where we're going to run roundtables like that, where people are tag teaming in and out. And it's going to be a free flow and open kind of stream where this is like a family, and you could feel that family atmosphere that they have in community among the 8 of them. I've been helping them with a newsletter, and they're just fantastic people. I can't mirror Rob's sentiments enough. Kudos to them for what they put on. They only had about, I think, 8 weeks from the time that CJ and Nick did that very first stream where they first talked about, we really should do like a summit around a general strike. And wow, what they were able to, and even just a couple of weeks out, I think there was a lot of questions as to exactly what it was going to look like and how it was going to work. And the way it all came together, and a shout out to Robin During, who did a lot of the artwork, and she's actually doing some of our artwork, and she's going to be helping Indie News Network as well. And we're excited to have her on the team, and go support her on her Ko-fi, and everybody. Again, I know there's a lot of channels here, and everybody's going to find 1 or 2 or 3 that they connect the most with. And that's one of the things that's so exciting about all of this project, is that you've got a tremendous variety of people who share a lot of like views, but come from a ton of different perspectives. And we're literally a rainbow coalition here, from all different walks of life, from all different countries around the world. We've got men, we've got women, we've got everybody you can think of, people of all colors, Latinos, African Americans, people that are overseas. We're trying to really find a mix and deliver a unique perspective that we're not really seeing out there. And we're going to collaborate with other networks. You know, I give a lot of credit to Nico House in building the platform and the network of MCSC and the channels that he's brought on, and as well as helped start with some of those content creators. That was also a tremendous inspiration, because part of what we're trying to do here is also be independent channels. And maybe I didn't get into exactly what the plan is, but we're all going to maintain our independent channels and our independent platforms, but we're going to do this in addition to all of that. And this will just be a central receptacle for everybody to be able to find all of the content from everybody in the network. That's a good way to kind of introduce yourselves to everybody. But then you'll also find a couple of channels probably that you like, and you're going to subscribe and watch everything that channel puts out as well, because this is going to be a fire hose of content coming at you from the network. And we totally understand that. We appreciate every minute that you spend watching it, listening to us, working with us, supporting us, sharing on Twitter. We're going to need everybody to amplify this, because the algorithms are going to try to push us down. We are all independent. We are all relying on each other and on you to be our voices, at least to start. We are all self-funded. We are all not taking corporate money. Very important. We are not taking any kind of corporate donation dollars. We are all user supported and funded. And I've seen, like, Lucy even did a stream where she did a transparency stream where she showed exactly what her expenses so far for Blue Moon for the month were and where she donated. And I think I give tremendous credit and kudos to that. And I think that we want to operate in that type of way as well. The super chats that we get here will be used to put back into the network and then into doing community organizing and mutual aid and donations to people in need. I think that's a really big part of what we're doing here. I think that's about all I had. If anybody else had anything else, you know, Reef's been sitting there pretty quiet for a while. Everybody, you know, I'll give everybody a chance to kind of to say goodbye and to close out themselves. Go ahead, Reef.
I wanted to mention, you know, when we first started, you know, getting this network together, that, you know, Rob was on a stream. Was it Franco? I think you were with, where you talked about how, you know, news network should be structured and stuff like that.
Yeah. I talked with Kamali Rose and Franco. Yep.
Yeah. Like, that was, you know, we definitely watched. We were like, that's interesting. We should definitely see what he thinks about, you know, how networks should be run and stuff like that. And, you know, everyone's winging it in this space. And, you know, it's much easier to wing it with, you know, like everyone here than doing it alone. So, you know, I feel like as long as we continue to bring good things to the party, we should be all right. So, but anyway, if anyone else wants to take the floor, I'm free to let you have it. So,
go ahead, Rob. You got anything?
I don't have anything to say other than that I'm so happy that you guys have done this, because, like, this is kind of what I've been hoping for since I started Political Fight Club about a year ago, is that networks, as far as online lefty news media goes, in my opinion, should be independent in that they have their own shows on the side, but then there should be these hubs where people can come together and have great conversations. And then we should also make a point to bounce off of each other's channels and spread the content, cross-pollinate, and boost each other. And this is exactly what we have here. And I think it's exactly structured correctly, because it's kind of like laid back in a way, very family-like, where we really are trying to help each other. And no single one of us is invested in all of the other channels' success. We just kind of come together and do our own thing and have fun. So I love it. And I'm so honored that you guys invited me. And I'm glad that you watched that episode. I did learn a lot from Kamali Rose, but yeah, I feel like that was the episode where I kind of really laid out what I wanted, or what I hoped this whole hive mind of lefty media people would end up being. And this is exactly right. You guys have nailed it. I can't thank you enough.
And this came together pretty quickly, just so everybody's aware. Our first team Zoom call was a month ago, I think today, actually. It might have been a month ago yesterday, but really all of this has happened in 30 days from the time that we first met each other. And I have to say that I've seen people go on each other's shows, and it's been such a heartwarming experience so far to see everybody kind of come together and meet each other and gel and support each other as a family and really become friends and form bonds in a short period of time. And again, it's because a lot of it is because I was watching all these channels and I saw people that I knew would all get along and fit together as a family. And I'm glad to see it all coming together. And this is just the beginning. And that again is the most exciting part to me. I don't even know where this is going to go really. But we know that it's going to go far together. And, you know, if you want to go, what is it? If you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. I believe that's the phrase or something like that. But I definitely am so happy to be building community with you, and then we're going to grow this with both the audience and people who have been watching our channels and having them introduced to everybody else's channels, working with everybody else. Really what we're trying to do is bring everyone together and unite people. Like, that's what everybody's been trying to do for ages, and saying, look, if we can just kind of kumbaya, bring everybody together, well, we can at least try from our little corner of the world. So again, I guess I'll close it out from there, unless Todd or Bess or anyone want to raise their hand, say anything else. I'm going to say goodnight for everyone tonight. We'll be back in a couple of days. You'll see some of our stuff co-streaming out to the network channels as we start to ramp up. We'll also be uploading some original content to the network, like all of the intro videos, short clips, and follow the Substack. Go to indienews.network, go to the link tree and follow all the channels, and stay tuned because there's going to be great things coming. And again, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody on this team for being here tonight and for all the work that you've put in for this month. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks again.
Thank you, Indy.
Night, everybody.
Thanks, Indy.
Good night.
Thanks.